that like decrease the time that you have to take your turn, or put a bomb basically on the top of the deck. So if you can't play and you have to draw, then you instantly draw 4 cards instead of 1. And
Oof.
sometimes that's actually a blessing in disguise, because I, some of us, like, sometimes we have a rule set to like draw, and it forces you to draw until you get a card that you can play. And a lot of times you wind up drawing like fucking 15 cards that turn, where
Gotcha.
it's like you probably would have, like, you're down to 2 cards, and then all of a sudden you can't play anything, and then you have half a deck in your hand.
That sounds
It sounds
interesting.
dirty, I get it. I knew exactly where you were going with it. So.
Actually, I wasn't, but I'm glad that you went there.
I know where your mind is.
I'm in the gutter.
Apparently in the same place. You both thought of the same thing.
That's hilarious.
I just anticipated his reaction as soon as those first couple of words came out, and I'm just like, yep, nope.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Helldivers
look.
has been fun.
Oh yes.
We played that for like 4 hours. It was like 3 hours on Saturday.
What was
Yep.
it?
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Yeah, it's
So
really
much fun. So much
I'll have
fun.
to get that.
It's really good. We have a good time doing that.
Oh yeah. It is a extremely chaotic, fast-paced third-person shooter. It's an interesting one. One of his friends from work had just gotten it. I think what he did, like, he got it like that day that we played.
Yeah. Yep. He was downloading it that day and was like, let me try it out. And I said, all right, let's go.
Yeah, right.
And I have another one that's gonna maybe join us. So at least sometimes we'll have a full squad. So you need 4 people
Oh yeah.
to play that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well,
Yeah,
you
if
two just
only-
need
if
to get
only if
you
you
two just
play.
need to get the game, and then you fucker, you just need to actually find time to play it.
That's
That part.
true.
Yeah, I know.
No
Hey, you want to know what the best part about all this? My headphone doesn't.
Oh, hey.
He doesn't have the convertible headphones anymore.
I don't.
What
I
type
don't.
of headphones do you have?
Well, I'm. Thanks
Glad
for
you
asking.
asked.
I'm glad that you asked. This episode is not sponsored by anybody. However,
We wish.
yeah. Although Skull Candy, if you want to sponsor us, me, them, whoever,
Hint, hint.
hint, hint. They are Skull Candy. They're Skull Candy gaming headset. They are actually I have the box right here.
Oh,
Hey, there
They
you go.
are the Street Fighter
That's
2
convenient.
edition, the 35th anniversary. Yep,
Yeah.
35th anniversary.
nice.
And the same background of the box is the style of the headphone.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Which is
so
the same styled pattern of the old school arcade cabinet, which is fucking amazing.
Yep. And not only that, but on one side it has the Street Fighter logo, but on the other it has a fighting scene from the game, which is Ryu and what's her name?
Melina.
2 buns.
Chun-Li.
June Lee. And when you move, it's in 8-bit, so it looks like he's doing a Hadouken.
Nice.
It would be cool if they put Hadouken on the top.
Yeah. It's funny because it actually has, I think it says KO
Uh-huh.
right here. This is removable. Their art comfy as hell. It actually says KO, double KO, and fight.
And of course, nobody can see it on the camera because of NVIDIA broadcast.
Yeah, correct. I'll post pictures on the Discord, so make sure
gotcha.
you join the Discord.
Yeah, I got you.
They are half off, so
Nice. Oh, Yadi and Lola. Quick update from when we were filming our reaction of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Guess what I found?
What?
A
Ha
di-
ha! Dangly parts.
Dangly parts.
It
My favorite.
did not take long to find that from the from episode 2, and
I will say you're very dedicated.
I said I was
at
gonna look for it.
finding the dangly parts.
You found that, but Yadi still has not found this.
There
Yep.
you go. Now we're gonna get it from this one.
Yep.
You're welcome. I live to
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Yadi, you your cables all match.
Kinda, yeah. We got some blue
Sweet.
stuff around. I love it. Road cable.
It's so
Not sponsor.
blue.
Yeah, they have all the different colors because if you have a anything road, you can probably tell that they're pretty colorful. All their products have different colors. Most
Right.
of them, including
be-
their mics and stuff. So
You know what would have been really cool if the cable for this would have been the same color as this.
oh, like the
The
is it
pattern.
braided.
No, it's not. It's flat.
Gotcha. Yeah, this
But-
is not braided either, but
Yeah.
the other one is. a
Well,
little heavy
darn.
back.
No, well,
Let me stop
actually, I'm using right now the one from the other headphones that I had that broke because they were the same brand. So it doesn't matter. It's still a
You have a new
headphone
one
cable.
in the shelf,
Right.
So
I'm excited. I'm super excited. I can hear you guys, and I can hear you guys all the time. Not only when I stay still, because if I moved, I would lose hearing from one side because it would separate from me.
Is that the advantage of the other ones, where that if you were getting hot, you can
Yeah.
just move it around and it kind of
Fan yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these
Right.
these are Street Fighter. The other one's for Transformers.
exactly.
So, all right. So now that we had fun, we're gonna switch a little bit, and we're gonna talk about Dragon Ball, and we're gonna talk about Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace. And we will also switch gears later and talk about the trailer for the Acolytes, Star Wars Acolytes. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Archive Podcast. We are going to.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, but who the hell cares about wildlife anyway?
Right. We're over.
What's going on, guys? Guys, I never started with that. What's going on, everybody? My name is Lewis. This is the Nerd Archive Podcast. And as always, I have Lola, Justin, and Yadi here. I know I already messed up, but hey, we had a week off.
I was gonna say you missed a week and now you're all fucked.
Yeah. I'm kind of off. So, I'm going to change my name to Jack. Jack off.
There you go.
With that being said, now that I ruined the mood with that joke, we want to talk about the passing of Akira Toriyama, which was kind of sudden. We didn't hear about it until a couple of days after it happened, because I think we heard about it on the 3rd or 4th, and he passed on the 1st. So I can, for a fact, say that at least 3 out of the 4, because Lola didn't watch Dragon Ball until the Broly movie came out. Or no, superheroes.
Yep.
So
I trust you.
You what?
I trust you. I know you'll get the right one. I don't know any.
Yeah, superheroes. So I know that I can talk for the 3 of us, for Justin, Yadi, and myself, that Dragon Ball formed our childhood because it was the show to watch, and I know that I spent countless hours glued to the couch or my bed watching Dragon Ball, and every video game that dropped, I had to have it. And that, yeah, and it didn't matter what console. It could have been handheld or it could have been a full console. I needed to have the video games, period, because Dragon Ball to me was life. To me, to this day, I love Dragon Ball as much as I love Star Wars, which is funny because it's the two things that we're going to talk about today. But the news broke out of Akira Toriyama, which is it. I didn't see it. My brother texted me because he became a fan because I showed him Dragon Ball for the first time when he was a kid, and then he became a fan. And he texted me. He's like, "Hey, Akira died," and I'm like, "No." It's like, yeah. And he sent me a screenshot of all the news articles on Google. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I Googled it. And yeah, he passed at the age of 68.
Pretty young.
Yeah. He was really young. He had a blood clot in his brain. And it obviously, if you have a blood clot, he probably has heart problems. So to an extent. I'm no medical professional, but I would assume. But how did you find out about the news?
Scrolling
I found
through.
out through, well, I mean, you were the one that told me. I found out through you, actually. And
Oh, gotcha.
then I immediately looked it up. I'm like, there's no fucking way this is happening.
Right.
And you sent that picture of the Google articles. I'm assuming it's the one that he sent you.
Yep.
And I'm just like, no way.
Yeah, I
And
just
then-
saved it and sent it to you guys.
Yeah. And then I get on Twitter, and like literally the first thing I see is dedications to him, and I'm like,
Right.
and it's 68 years old.
Right. And Yadi, how did you find out? You were scrolling through.
Yeah, I just scrolling through social media,
Right.
and I saw it, sent it to you guys, and I think at that moment you already knew.
Yeah. And then Lola is like, who's Akira Toriyama?
I'd explain who he was. And you sent it on the group chat, so I figured.
Right. So it was. Obviously, I got sad because it was an end of an era. And this is kind of anybody that's listening, please don't take this as selfish. The first thing I thought of is, where is the series going to go? Because we had a downhill with Dragon Ball GT, which it wasn't his project. The only reason it got better was because he put his hands in it.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. With him creating the additional characters that he that he did, and then just kind of staying in it as kind of he basically like as an overseer type of role. Like he wasn't directly involved in it, but he
Right.
did, like, because it's like, I mean, we talked about this on our last Dragon Ball episode where it's like he sees the direction they're going in, and it's like Kid Goku, like no, we've already seen this, we've already done this before, it's old news, let's try something new.
Right.
And that's when he came.
Right. So I think that it was more of a, I'll let you handle this project, and then you messed it up. Now I got to step in.
He was able to, they were able to salvage it somewhat, but
Right.
to honestly, like, aside from those new characters that he brought in, like on the whole, it really wasn't the best.
Right. Right. So that was obviously it wasn't my first thought. My second thought, because my first thought it was, damn, like that. It's sad. So and like I said before, it Dragon Ball was part of our. It molded a lot of our like personalities, because you see different characters that people tend to gravitate towards. Like there's some personality traits from each character that people were developed because of this show. So it was sad. It was sad, to say the least. Like, I felt the same way when Kobe Bryant passed, because a lot of my mentality, how I dealt with life, I always had that, what they call the mama mentality, which is keep pushing forward until you can't do it anymore. So it molded who I was. So that's why I was like a lot of people cry over actors passing, and I was like, what are your, the movies? Oh, okay. Cool. You like their movies. Like, Lola, sorry to interrupt, Justin. I want to, because I know that Lola doesn't have a lot to talk about Akira or Dragon Ball, but has there anybody that famous that has passed and you're like, damn, that sucks. I actually genuinely feel sad. Like, not to the point where you're gonna cry, but you feel sad about it.
Yeah, I guess. The guy that plays Snape, I forget his name in real life.
Alan Rickman.
Severus.
Yeah, Alan Rickman.
Severus.
But it wasn't like oh, that's sad. Okay, well,
Right.
you know.
It's like
I
when
didn't know
Robin
him
Williams
personally.
died.
Yeah, that was, well, I think it was the same year, wasn't it?
No, it was way
No.
before.
It was way
It's
before.
one of those. Robin Williams' death is one of those that you think it hasn't been that long.
Well, like, I remember the year that one of them died. A lot of actors died. And I think they had like a memorial at the Oscars. So they had one for Alan Rickman, Robin Williams. They had for Philip Seymour Hoffman, and a couple of others that were all within the same, within the span of a year.
Let's ask Dr. Google.
Okay, Dr. Google.
Yeah. Justin, what were you gonna say?
Intern Steve is on the case. Yeah, I mean, I would suppose that everybody's different when it comes to, who, like, certain people that they feel they have that connection with. It's like there aren't a lot of actors that I like connect with in that sense, where like if they died, like it would be like super sad. Like, I mean, and it sucks, like when you find out that somebody like whose movies like you either grew up watching or really enjoyed watching, when they pass, like it really sucks. Like, and you
Right.
feel for the people who also enjoy those movies. You definitely feel for like the family and the friends and those who were closest to them.
Right.
It's like if unless it's somebody like, say, like Robin Williams, perfect example. Like, he was, like, in my view, one of those generational talents, like genuinely good people that,
Right.
really wanted to like make others laugh and that stuff, and like what he was hiding behind the scenes and stuff like that, like what led up to him taking his own life. It's sad to see, and especially for me in his case, like it really sucked.
The answer is 2 years apart.
2 years apart, yeah. I just saw that.
Robin Williams 2014 and Alan Rickman in 2016.
2016. And then I looked up Philip Seymour Hoffman was also 2014. So probably the 2015 Oscars. I'm looking at the video right now, but yeah, a lot of actors died within that span of a year.
Right.
But yeah, maybe when he died, it was like, oh, that's kind of sad. But then, like I
I
said, I
think
didn't
it's
know him
more
personally.
right, and I think it's also more of the age that they pass.
Oh,
Uh,
you know who I would be really sad if they passed? Hayden Christensen. That's not even a joke.
I wasn't even gonna mention that name
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that
I
I
because I kind
that
of
is
because
genuinely
I
would be
knew
not
so
because
what
I
I was
kind of
sad.
thinking.
knew well because I kind of knew what especially your reaction, Lola, would have been if I mentioned that name and him dying and just like and it was like, don't you fucking dare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been
So it's
triggering.
like I wasn't even yeah, 'cause I wasn't gonna go there.
No,
Right.
I went there. Eventually, I got there. But yeah, maybe. And Pedro Pascal.
And it also depends on like I said, their age,
Mm.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
if an actor dies and they're 96, you're like, oh damn, that's sad. But they
Full
were
life, though.
96 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and it's part of life.
Yeah.
But then when you have someone in their 50s or 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and even earlier than that, 20s, 30s, you're like, damn, that sucked. And also the way that they pass, also, it makes you think too, because if it's self-inflicted, it's troublesome. You're like, for example, Robin Williams. You never thought that he was going through that, through any of that. So,
Especially with being in the public eye and being surrounded by so much people.
Oh yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. Ryan Labarge in chat said Woody Harrelson. I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but I mean that would definitely kind of suck.
Yeah.
Right.
Maggie
I
Smith.
think that's what he's talking about. I think
Mm.
he's giving his like who would make him sad if they pass. Yadi, what about you?
I don't have a person like that like unless I know someone personally, like I will get sad, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a stranger. So like even and I'm not a super fan of other people. Like
Right.
sounds wrong, I guess, but I just don't have that person that I don't know personally don't
Right.
know that I will feel like super super sad.
Right. And
Yeah,
it's
it
that's
is
completely
something sad
understandable.
that happens, but yeah, like I just don't, since I don't have that connection.
Right.
You know, it's just a stranger. It is a sad thing that happened, obviously, but it
Right.
wouldn't affect me as
Right.
much as others.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, and that's okay because I mean, there's like not everybody makes those connections, and
Right.
Right.
that's fine because those differing opinions and experiences and things like that, and
Right.
like I said, that's okay.
Yeah, and I mentioned it before. Like I'm just not a person that just fans over someone. Like it's just not.
Like
Not
if
me.
you go to a megacon, you won't freak out if you see someone.
Right. No.
You're like, oh, I seen you there.
Really?
Yeah. No. I don't.
There's never been a movie that you're like, oh, that person, idol.
Like there's been moments that I would like to hang out with someone, but I wouldn't like to take. I don't care about taking pictures with famous people. If they give me money, I'll take a picture with them.
But I'm not gonna give you
But not
money.
But
backward.
I'm not gonna give. Yeah, I'm not gonna give him my money. I'll get sad if Ryan Labarge, like if he passes, then I'll get sad.
Right.
He just texted me that.
That's your guy from
He's the Rambling Dudes.
yeah, I thought I recognized that name. I'm like, that name looks familiar. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm like,
yeah,
Yadi,
yeah.
damn, that's ballsy, bro.
Oh man. Well, I mean, and like another person that we grew up watching and kind of looking up to was fucking Jason David Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was a guy that a lot of kids looked up to back in those days because, the type of person that he was,
Right.
and like who he genuinely was, and to have that happen, and to see what he was going through, those turmoils that that he was dealing with his family, and that, like, it sucks to see, but
Yeah, I feel like that one um was as sad as this one, and I think it has to do with the way it happened too.
Right. Right. And the impact that he had also for us growing up,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
because you can go back and you can probably not the first time you watch it, but you can remember those weekends watching Power Rangers and seeing him, and a lot of people, that was their favorite Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was that connection that he made
Right.
with people, and also he was very active with his fans.
Absolutely.
So, which brings a point. There is I can't think of what her character's name was on Harry Potter, but she didn't pass. It's a TikTok that I saw that she was like, "How do you feel about the Harry Potter fans?" And she's like, or how do you feel that you have Harry Potter fans? And she's like, I it's kind of weird that I have fans that they should be over it. It's been years. So those actors, and it was, she didn't have a big part. It's not like she was like one of the main characters, or she was like one of the professors, but in the sidelines. But people still liked her. They liked her character, but they asked her in an interview, and she's like, I think it's weird that there's still Harry Potter fans.
Is it an older lady?
Yeah, bigger lady.
I think
like the teacher?
herbology professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's
So-
crazy because she was like in the one. I see her point because she was just in that. Like her main, the brightest moment for her was the second movie.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
when
been a
they're
minute.
pulling out the mandrakes.
Right.
oh
Right.
yeah.
That's the scene that they showed of her.
Mm-hmm.
But the example is that big actors feel that way too. Like Harrison Ford. He's not a big fan of the Star Wars fans.
Right. Of the solo fans.
Right. So he's like, I just don't get it. Well, it's not for you to get. You sorry. But if you are part of the community and continue active with your fans, that is, I think that is what makes the difference between actors.
Pretty much. And he was not like, and he was never really, that kind of guy that was as active that I saw with the fan base from his movies. Like from my perspective, he would just, he basically just went from movie to movie to movie, and like you said, with with the Star Wars fandom and like with the franchise itself, like he only wanted to do those first two movies,
Right.
and then he wound up getting pulled back in for for Jedi, and then it's like, how much convincing did it take him to return for Force Awakens? Besides the promise that they would kill his character.
Maybe
Right.
that. It's just
That
like,
I think
hey,
that was it.
last one, we're gonna kill
Yeah.
you off.
Mhm.
Like fucking hallelujah, dude.
I wonder if it was his idea. I'll come back, but you have to kill my character off.
Possibly.
Oh yeah. it makes you wonder, like, how did that conversation go down? Like, how many times did they have to go back and forth? It's like, no, we want you.
Right.
We have this idea for like these like X and Y movies for Star Wars, and he's just like, no, I will come back for this movie only, and you need to kill my character.
Right.
It's like I don't. I think it's probably one of those like I don't give a shit what you pay me. Just find a way to put my character out of that.
Out of commission.
Yeah, completely. And it's
Like,
just
I don't want to give you another option for you to ask me to come back.
pretty much.
So,
And then he winds up coming back. I think was it the third one of the sequel trilogy as like a ghost.
mhm.
So
But-
it's like that's weird.
Yeah, but I think it was it
Money.
actually yeah.
Hmm?
It wasn't money.
It was all money. I mean, obviously, it's his job. That's he's there to get paid, so he'll do.
Right.
I understand that, but it's
Whatever.
like, but if you've grown tired of a specific franchise that you just don't want to deal with anymore, then why accept any amount of money? I mean, it had to have been a pretty substantial amount for him to say, "Oh, okay, I'll do this. I'll come back and
For 10
get
minutes.
probably a couple hours worth of work for maybe like a couple minutes of screen time."
Right.
Mhm.
I wonder if the producers and the directors, like Lucas, he doesn't want to come back. He's like, I got it. Because him and Harrison Ford were super like close, and it's funny how he got that part. Harrison Ford got that part because he had already worked with George Lucas as a carpenter for his sets.
Oh yeah,
So he's
think-
like, "Hey,
I was like, hey, I can act too.
yeah,
well, and
Well,
what's
what do
and
you
the funny-
know?
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is, it's like I think we talked about it in another Star Wars episode. Like he literally was just he was the only at that point when they were filming Star Wars, he was the biggest name in that cast, but he was originally just there for the script reading, just to bounce lines off him. I think Lola was the one that mentioned that.
Yep.
Yeah, during the fun facts.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I think it apparently it went over well enough that they just gave him that part.
Yeah.
right." And fun fact, that happens a lot because the kid that plays Miguel in Coco, I've found out
Miguel.
in Miguel. Well, that's the movie was in English, so it was Miguel. Miguel,
In English, comes from a Mexican family in Mexico.
still in English.
There's a Spanish version if you want me to put it on for you,
Yeah, but the English version came out first.
so you can learn
So-
pronunciations correctly. That's
so,
fine.
Okay, Miguel. The actor, he was only hired to help others learn the music because he was good. He would sing the part really good, and he did it for 2 years before they actually said, "You know what? You're the
You
one."
got it. It's yours.
Yeah, and they made a big deal, and they made it a surprise and all that, and it was pretty
Oh.
cool. So
Yeah, I've
it
seen
was
those
it was
videos.
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
a great reaction that he has.
Yeah, and when they did they have a special on Disney Plus about the movie, and then it's like a live concert of all the songs, but they have them in English, they have them in Spanish, so they have different. They have the actors singing them, but then because he's older, his voice changed, and they wanted to keep it authentic. His little brother, has the same voice. So he performed his songs. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're a big Coco family here. So Miguel.
Miguel.
Even Sarah says Miguel. I fucked up.
You did.
It was
Our
more for
daughter.
Justin. I
So
didn't want to
you
throw him off.
understand the name.
Yeah.
Meow.
Lola.
Lola.
Yeah.
Lola.
Well, do you say Justin or do you say Justin?
To his face, Justin.
Yeah, I know.
Behind his back, nothing.
Justin.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. So now that we have switched gears and we've talked about Star Wars.
Made a good transition.
Yeah, it was great. The Acolytes trailer. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drop it. It was fucking amazing. Because we get to see the epicness of the Jedi Order in its full power.
Yes. Very excited for it. Also, is that Trinity?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the first thing I noticed. Actually, I hadn't seen the trailer yet.
Mhm.
And I saw someone said, we wanted Keanu Reeves and we got Trinity.
Hey, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
He's
no,
kicking ass.
she did. Hey, listen,
Kicking
she did,
ass.
yeah, she did great.
Yeah.
And it's like the way I saw it was like the trailer looked like a mix between Star Wars and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There was a lot of martial arts in it, which was great. Don't get me wrong.
Wind blowing.
Yeah.
The trailer was
Can you guys explain to the people what the Acolyte is? The people that don't know.
Justin, do you know what the Acolytes is?
it's a Disney Plus series, a limited series. How many episodes is it? I think it's like
I think it's 8.
Probably 8.
8.
Hopefully.
They're gonna
Because
drop
the
2
trailer
first
is
day.
making me want 8.
Well,
Well,
they're
Some of them
dropping
are
2
gonna
the
be
first
released the
day,
same
so I'm
day.
guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honestly
Jinx.
surprised. I'm honestly surprised that I enjoyed the trailer. So we'll say cautiously optimistic at this stage,
Cautiously optimistic.
considering the people involved.
Right.
Cautiously optimistic.
At this point, I'm just gonna enjoy it and just
Yeah.
it's
They gave us something.
Mm.
Hoorah.
yeah.
As I always do, I will go into it and I will give it a fair shot,
Right.
and I will base my opinion on what I see. But like I said, I'm not going into it with a lot of expectations based
I
on
hope-
what we know.
Right. I hope that this show is as good as Andor and the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian
And Obi-Wan.
and Obi-Wan. Because they kept you, oh, what's gonna happen next? And
I would say the final episode of Obi-Wan.
Get out of here.
But
Get
no,
being
out of
a
here,
Star Wars
Justin.
fan,
not-
you kind of being a hater.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not
Being a
backing
Star
down.
Wars snob right now?
I'm not. I'm not gonna back down from that. From that shit. Like, pretty much the entirety of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, save for the last episode, which kind of redeemed it a little bit, was just very, very disappointing. And
We're gonna
just-
go back and see like Justin's reaction to the episodes that we did of
See if they match up.
breaking down Kenobi and see what you thought then when you think of it now. Editor, pull it up. He's like, fuck you.
nah. Nah. I'm not fucking doing that.
But yeah, I'm gonna go back to our episodes, and if you haven't seen them, go back into our list of episodes and then see the breakdown of Kenobi, which I'm going to do, and see what Justin said and record it and then play the next episode.
Sounds great.
Sounds fantastic.
Maybe
Sounds
not.
Well, it's fun. I'm not gonna say that we didn't like. I'm not gonna say that we didn't have fun talking about it, because our little inside memes that it spawned. Asmakin Skywalker and all that shit. I
Obi-Wan.
mean, that's like, honestly, we definitely had fun, but like going back and like watching that series over again, it's just like with a, I think with a more balanced perspective, rather than just going into it as like a blind Star Wars fan or what have you.
right.
Like my opinion on the series as a whole stands as, aside from the final episode of that series, and I call it a series because at this point there's very little, like there's very little hope that there's gonna be a season 2 at this stage.
Yeah, I don't
So,
think there would be.
but aside from the last episode, it really wasn't that good of a series.
I disagree with every single word you just said. I'm just kidding. I don't agree though. Agree to disagree,
And that's okay.
and that's okay. I love that show. It was really good. I especially love when Vader grabbed Obi-Wan and smashed him on the hot coal.
I actually like Ahsoka better. But
Eh.
that's me.
Apart from the Hayden Christensen episodes, but also Daddy Anakin was there, so like I don't know what to tell you. It's 100% biased. That being said, I really liked Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. I think it's because I'm used to Clone Wars Ahsoka, and obviously
Oh
she's
yeah,
different
but
because she's
I
older
remember
and
you,
she's.
Oh yeah.
you didn't like it. Your
I never
opinion
said I
has
didn't
not
like it.
changed.
Yeah, I never said I didn't like it. It's just, we have number 1 already filled. Like,
That's okay. You didn't like it. It's okay. You
okay.
can say you didn't like it. Nobody's gonna fight you. We're just fighting Justin. That's it.
Say it. Say it. Say you hated Ahsoka and get it over with.
I didn't hate Ahsoka. I like 85% liked it.
Obviously, you just weren't as enthused about that series as you were some of the others, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think I was
absolutely fine.
more on board with Obi-Wan because it's like, oh, what happened between you, this and that, and they touch on it on the books, but it's cool seeing it in person. But then with Ahsoka, it's a little bit more like, well, she's meant to be like this all-wise lady and all that stuff, and she's not being all that wise. And I understand she falls away from the path and all that, but again, but also actually Jenkins as Ahsoka, that's kind of what I wanted, and it wasn't. Even
The
adult
fan
Ahsoka.
picked Rosario.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest,
she wasn't bad, don't get me wrong, but again, because Ashley plays older Ahsoka as well in Rebels, so, and that was really good too.
as well as I think Rosario played Ahsoka, I think a lot of people would have rather had like Ashley Eckstein as the live action Ahsoka.
Not
Yes.
Jenkins. My bad.
Whoops.
Oh, look, it's the
Different Ashley.
Borderlands trailer. Oh, wait, you
No.
guys aren't seeing that on the live. We're seeing it on our end, or I'm seeing it on my end.
What?
What
Don't
you
worry about
talking
it. Trying to do something. Keep going.
It's because he's a moderator and we're not.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm seeing things that you guys are not. No worries.
Crazy.
Quit the drugs, Justin.
You crazy.
Here's the receipts.
Oh, I do
Anyone
say
can help
guys.
you. Is it playing on your side?
It is playing. It's not on the live thing.
It's
At
not
least
playing?
though. It's not loading. No.
Why is it not playing?
We look so young in that freaking video. It hasn't been that long.
The audio has changed.
Sure has.
Look at your long hair.
It's buffering on the YouTube stream.
It's also buffering on my side.
That's weird.
You broke it.
Maybe.
Oh, it didn't
It's
work.
like Inception.
It didn't work, so it was a good try. I tried actually uploading the episode onto EVMux,
Oh,
but that
gotcha.
was when I was using all separate tracks,
Mm.
and it was like almost 7 gigabytes.
Oh shit.
And now the episodes are like 2 gigabytes. And the max on EVMux to upload something is 2.
Gotcha.
I was like, damn. Yeah, but sorry, I was distracted trying to. You said that, and I immediately started looking for it. You guys, I didn't even hear anything you guys said. I was
We were saying
First-
that you
Oh,
like
man.
it like from behind, and I was like, what?
I mean, I did hear that, and that is true. But I tried to upload it. It said no. I tried to play it on Spotify, and I have to update Spotify, so it wasn't working. And then I looked up the YouTube link, and I tried.
Technical difficulties, folks.
You said I'm telling you, you said that, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it.
Oh, challenge accepted.
And then on my end, I was hearing it was like echo, and then you paused it and then restarted it, and then it was like Lola in stereo.
Yeah. Representation matters, bro.
Oh man.
So yeah, I can't wait for the Acolytes.
Yeah, looks really good. Very excited
Yeah.
for it.
It's seeing all those lightsabers again
Yeah.
because we got to see them in the prequel. Because in the original trilogy, we only saw Darth Vader and Luke and Obi-Wan, or Ben. But then in the prequels, we got to see the Jedi Order and that scene on Attack of the Clones at the end, that all the
the
Jedi
arena.
show up and you have different color lightsabers, but then we actually got to see the yellow lightsaber. We got to see it already, but not in action. It was more like light up, and then the movie's over.
So the Acolyte is when in the timeline?
That is in the Old Republic.
Well before episode 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is like this is before even. I mean, it's probably still. I don't want to assume that it's still during like Yoda's time, but we can pretty much be sure that it's before Dooku. It's before Mace, before like.
Yeah, they're not going to mention any of those. because they're not even born yet.
Those are the kids.
You would, if
don't know.
one of them is a kid, it'd be Yoda. And I
The
can tell
real
you they're
baby
not going to do
Yoda
that. Right. I can tell you that they're not going to go that route because we already had an infant Yoda species. So they're not going to go that route. Unless they actually show you what his species can do.
Yeah.
And they can say, yeah, we're doing that, but I doubt that they're going to show Yoda, and maybe at the end of the show they do reference it. Oh, there's this baby of this race that is very powerful.
The one.
Or
And that's why Trinity is in.
Yeah.
Save
Could this little green thing be the chosen one? The
Now,
prophecy?
now I ask
Nah.
you. Now, Justin, I ask you this. Do you think that they're going to reference, if it's during the same timeline or after, do you think that they're either going to show or reference Darth Revan or Revan and what was his name? Malachus.
Oh, Revan. Oh, yeah, the Revan and Malik.
Malik.
Considering, like, well, because the thing is, if it's before,
it's 100 years before.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It would have been 100 years before Yoda's time, because Knights of the Old Republic literally took place 1,000 years before
Right.
the prequel trilogy.
Right.
And so, if you're only, and I mean, sadly, Knights of the Old Republic isn't canon at this stage. So, but I'd like them to mention it. I mean, considering it's only 100 years removed from, I mean, we can assume. I'd like them to, but will they?
Well, they did canonize Revan because they mention him in the Rise of Skywalker. When they're talking about the Knights of Ren, they talk about Kylo Ren's knights, and then they also they mention the Knights of Revan. So they do mention Revan in the movie.
Well, that could just be a nod to it, and not necessarily making the game itself and those events canon per se. Like, it could just be like a little nod to the fans, like some bit of fan service. I got to go back and watch that again. I mean, I don't really want to, but I definitely need to watch that again just to get some kind of context for what we're talking about. But
right,
yeah, no, I definitely like them to mention that, just to put the whole, just to put it to rest and bring it fully back into, the canon storyline as it is now. I would love for that to happen, but I'm not holding my breath at this point.
right. And they don't show, or I can't remember right now. Do they show or do not who was throwing the red lightsaber at the end?
No, they just show the hand.
Mm-mm.
Okay, because this is just me as a fan hoping. But one of Revan's most known skills or techniques was throwing the lightsaber in the books, in the canon books of legends. Well, not canon anymore, but what was. That's just me being like, he's throwing this person is throwing this lightsaber, and it's around the same timeline, and it's one of his signature techniques because he was so powerful in the Force that he was able to manipulate the fact that he can throw the lightsaber and keep it lit up and catch it. Because back in the books, was that only Force users were able to wield a lightsaber because you can only turn it on with the Force. Now that anybody can, but with Finn being able to light it up and not using his character at all. But in the books, the original wielders were only able to light up the lightsaber with the Force. That's why it was such a technique, because he was able to keep it lit up without holding it. And that was also one of the reasons why they were able to explain why no one used the technique of, if the lightsaber was, they were clashing and one of them drops it to hit them. If I'm explaining myself correctly, you know what I mean?
Well, I think,
No.
I mean, you can also look at it because you also have to consider the other characters from that particular universe when you're looking at like Knights of the Old Republic, and then you're looking at like Knights 2 with Darth Nihilus, because that's a bit further removed from that, and then you have what's his name, Darth Malgus, and you know those characters from the Old Republic, and that video game, and so like Malgus and some of the other Sith characters from that game were able to do that same technique where they could throw the lightsaber and it would
Right.
stay lit and things like that. So that it definitely wasn't a technique that was limited to just
Right.
you know, to just Revan. And you know, I would imagine a lot of Jedi would be able to do that as well.
Right.
But it's like it's not necessarily a technique, because that's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen like an actual Jedi character do that, like
Right.
in any of the canon stuff. Like you see Sith do that,
Mhm.
and then literally that's all you see. But
But on the same point, Revan was a master of both sides. And that's why he was so powerful, because he was able to tap into the dark side and the light side at the same time if he wanted to. So it was the first Jedi to ever go to the dark side to be able to come back.
true
did
enough,
see,
but the thing is though, he was only able to come back because they beat him and then wiped his mind. And then he had to literally start again from scratch. But as powerful as he was already, like he probably didn't have to take very long to,
Right.
you know, to relearn all of his skills.
Right. What were you
I
going to
did
say,
see
Yadi?
multiple articles that they do say this was after the High Republic times and then 100 years before the Phantom Menace. It's
The
confirmed by
Acolyte?
yeah.
So it's still, so it's still Yoda's time. He's probably still Grand Master on the Jedi Council.
So that means that there's not a lot of
So we can't really expect there to be any references to the games.
well, maybe a reference, like as a memory or something like that, but seeing it there happening, we probably won't see that. Which sucks, because we need Revan on live action already.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it.
And who would be great Revan?
Keanu fucking Reeves.
Yeah.
Maybe the one with the red lightsaber, it's the son of Neo and Trinity, which is why she's there.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
obviously.
But also, Revan was able to live to 600 years old. So, we'll see.
I mean, it's not. I think it's not
Something
beyond the
sucks
realm of
when it's empty.
possibility.
And you pick it up and you don't realize it.
If you must know, it's because he's got a drinking problem. Only when I run out, we don't like to talk about that.
Then he brings a jug.
I was drinking tea first.
But like I was saying, I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility that they could get somebody like Keanu Reeves to play Revan and finally fully bring him into canon and just do something with that, with the character and with those stories. I'd love to see it. And like I said, not beyond the realm of possibility since they have, since they got Carrie Ann Moss to play a character in the Acolyte. Who's to say? Are they gonna get? Are they gonna get? Say Keanu Reeves to do some work on Star Wars? Will they get say Lawrence Fishburne? Like, I mean, they're like that, and that's the thing. I was like, let's talk about this. Like, what kind of actors would you like to see play characters in Star Wars, and who would you like to see them play?
Keanu Reeves, Revan.
Well, yeah, I mean that. Aside from that,
The
because
Rock
that's
as
the
The
obvious.
Rock.
Fuck that.
No.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
I mean, it's all owned by Disney now, so what the hell?
Right. All of a sudden, you see Wolverine showing up, and he doesn't have claws. He has lightsabers.
Oh my god.
That's Deadpool coming
But
up
he
and saying, "Wrong universe."
heals. He can
Yeah.
do that.
That's
That'd be
ridiculous. That is
cool.
ridiculous. It's hilarious, but fucking hell. Now, let's.
I'm gonna ask
Okay, so, yeah.
ChatGPT to make me a picture.
Oh my god. Hugh Jackman with lightsaber claws.
I mean, you have Disney making this epic world, so who knows? You can see that in Fortnite.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, who's to say? Who's to say? Like, and that's the thing though. It's like okay, so let's get on the topic of like Hugh Jackman. Okay, put him in Star Wars. What would you see him play? And not a Star Wars version of Wolverine with lightsaber claws.
I'm out.
It's too that's too easy.
A Sith.
I was gonna say Sith, yeah.
A
You go,
Sith that screams a lot.
Could be. I mean, that's the thing though. It's like he's played the good guy so long in movies that honestly, I think it's high time for him to play a bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the cool thing about Wolverine, that he is actually not the nicest good guy, So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think you see him as in that side yet, at least in
well,
Marvel.
true enough. Well, okay. We'll use the proper term anti-hero, but still.
We'll see.
I'm thinking.
I mean,
we like the guy that plays Toad as Darth Maul. That would be cool.
Which
but
guy?
he was Darth Maul.
I know.
I was gonna say, isn't it the same guy?
It's
Yes.
the same guy.
It's literally the same guy. What's funny is the guy that the guy that play Ray Park, the one who played Toad and Darth Maul, didn't voice Darth Maul. It was voiced by someone else. I
That's
forget
stupid.
his name.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that was who Sam Witwer based his Darth Maul off of. And so, okay, so yeah, Hugh Jackman as, I mean, a Sith. Yeah, he could definitely do that.
I was
But
thinking either a Sith or like
a Mandalorian.
The Stormtrooper.
No,
I
You'll
was
never see
thinking
him.
more along the lines of like, you know how you have those random like smugglers and people like that? Like he'd be cool as one of them.
like a mercenary
cameo?
type.
Like a mercenary type, yeah. He doesn't really like Hondo. He doesn't want bad, he doesn't want good, he just wants chaos.
I'm leaning towards Mandalorian.
Eh.
Just the voice of one, because
That's not bad.
That's not bad, yeah. Well, we've seen him with a katana before, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but seeing the red claws.
yeah. That's not bad.
I mean, that image honestly looks just looks like his claws are like heated to
Hot?
red hot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's still good.
Just not good enough, Luis.
Do better.
Do better.
Well, it's fucking Copilot that is letting me down.
I was gonna say it's not. Yeah, it's not him. It's AI. So
Yeah, the AI, it's giving me. Oh, this one's pretty cool. I'll show you this one. Now we're just fucking around.
Wait for it, folks. Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Okay.
The lightsaber's just, he's using the force. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's floating.
It looks like he does. I was gonna say it looks like he
He's
doesn't
got
have
no
legs.
Yeah.
Right, I know.
He
but-
ain't got no legs.
It's a ghost.
Lieutenant Dan.
I need some ligaments.
That's really cool, actually. I really like
That actually
that.
really is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that. I saved that on my computer.
Yeah.
The other one
But then-
was cool too.
But then friggin' AI gives me shit like this. This is ridiculous.
I can't wait to see this.
The anticipation is killing me.
Why does he have 3 arms?
Why not?
That is so fucking weird. Oh my god.
But it's not the only one. There's
The question is, why the mask if you're wearing the top part of your, like the hood?
Right.
No.
Like
that's what you're questioning, not the 3
Yeah.
arms.
Well, it's Star Wars. They have
Yeah,
weird
5
species.
claws.
yeah, I was gonna say
One
like
in the air.
well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because it looks like you see that like on his left hand, you can see that one on the right like split into 2, and then the one like 2 after that split into 2,
Those are
and then
the
here's another 3-armed fucking Wolverine. Like, come on! Like
I like that he doesn't
You're breaking
I
the
like
AI.
that. I like that.
He's in
But
space
it's
and
like
in the
that-
void at the same time.
That third like that third arm is like that third hand is just so jarring.
Like, look at this one.
I couldn't think anymore.
This one is actually badass, but it's black and white.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Kind of reminds me of a dark
Samurai Jedi.
Ray's sword.
Yeah, true enough. I mean,
Yeah.
his claws are in the wrong place on his hand, but
Yeah.
You're asking for too much, Justin, at this point.
yeah,
but
I know.
that's-
Copilot needs work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, so
I'm sure it'll improve over time.
yeah. It's like I asked Copilot to make me a picture of Akira Toriyama as an angel in Goku saying goodbye. And this is what it came up with.
That reaction, I can tell it's going to be disappointing. Yeah.
Oh, because Akira was not really into it. Like he was not. He's showing his face a lot, so I guess it's not. It's not
Yeah, but-
recognizing it.
And that one is actually looks good because but tell me what is wrong with this picture?
A lot.
First of all, he's missing an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like Goku's the drawing of Goku, it's a little
His
evil.
teeth are black,
I was gonna
and he
say.
Yeah.
looks like he looks sinister as fuck.
Yeah. And then I said, create me a picture of Akira Toriyama and Goku as a remembrance, right? And that's what it gave me. And then I said, make Akira Toriyama as an angel and Goku crying, saying goodbye. It says, oops, try another prompt. Looks like there are some words that may be automatically blocked at this time.
Oh yeah, I ran
Well,
into that
probably
a
a
couple
lot of
of
people
times.
are asking for it. I can't think no
Hmm.
more.
So I said, deuces. Man, now I gotta delete all these.
I found a video that this girl was actually doing a drawing of Akira as a character in it, and she did him with Goku on the
I-
side like little Goku, and it was that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw one that he was like sitting with his legs crossed, and then baby Goku sitting on his lap.
Mm.
That was pretty cool.
This one he was like with Vegeta's. It's like the science suit, the old ones, and then
Akira.
Mm.
yeah, and then him with the glasses and everything. It looked pretty cool.
That's awesome.
There is a video that also they ask him before he passed. They ask him like, what character would you be friends with in the show? Can you guess which one he picked and why?
Was it Vegeta?
No,
No,
like,
because he hates Vegeta.
Mm.
he
It's
picked-
weird. He created the character and he hates the character.
I think it's just because he
It do
doesn't
be like
relate.
that.
He actually picked Voma because she can make him a flying car. Simple guy. That's it. That's why, like, legit why he won it.
Yeah, it's not the reason why he put her in Dragon Ball, right?
Right.
In the original Dragon Ball. Lola, did you know about okay, so Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball. Goku meets Bulma for the first time. They're kids. She's a teenager. He's 10. He staying at her house, and they're sleeping, or she's sleeping, and he lifts her pajamas. She's just like a long, like a shirt, and he lifts her pajamas, and he's like, in other words, what the hell is this? Why is she missing the Dragon Balls?
He's like, where are the balls?
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit inappropriate. But
Yeah, and that's anime for you. That's for kids.
He did take the
Yeah.
underwear off.
Yeah, in the OG Japanese version, he actually takes them off, and you can see him taking them off. And
Yeah.
she had no clue it even happened
He's like,
Yeah.
pats it.
until
Yeah.
What's this?
until it was actually, this was after her interaction with Master Roshi, where in order to get the Dragon Ball from him, she had to flash her panties at him, not realizing she didn't have them, and just everything, and nosebleed city from Roshi, and then they go back to her capsule house, and she sees her underwear on the bed, and reality hits her, and all you can hear is her scream.
They don't show anything,
Yeah,
but
I figured.
it's just
so.
for you to picture the picture.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, anime is for kids. It's a cartoon for kids. Yeah. Maybe the American version in the American version, when Goku gets hit by the special beam cannon in the first arc through Raditz and him, in the American version, they show like he's just burnt, like his clothes has a hole, but he's just burnt. In the original version, he has a hole through his body.
Mhm.
Both of them.
Damn.
I'm like, but
Yep.
which is funny because we saw the Spanish version. The Spanish version, I saw the hole through his body,
Mhm.
and then later they edited it when they put it on
Oh, yeah.
Toonami.
I mean, there were a lot of changes that they made. Like in like the original Japanese version, Piccolo's blood was red,
Mhm.
and then in the U.S. version, they changed it to purple.
Right.
Oh, did you guys see this? The Toonami guy.
Oh no, not purple. It was green, I think.
Yeah, it was green. No, I think you were right.
Did you see
Purple?
the Toonami
Yeah.
guy saying like how Dragon Ball basically was the show that put
That made
Toonami on
Toonami.
the- Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that hit. That's I think that hit me harder than anything. It's because it's not real.
Oh
But
yeah.
Right.
Well, it was also that show that brought anime like into the mainstream.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Like that's what kicked it off, and then it just cascaded from there.
Yeah. No, I watched Dragon Ball. It's funny because I think I've said it before. When it was on Toonami, I watched an episode and I'm like, what is this?
Hmm.
And I didn't even watch a full episode. I just turned it off. But then it's probably because I didn't understand it. Because when they played it in Spanish at 2:00 between 2 and 4, they were playing
Pokemon, and
Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and there
Mm.
was 2 more anime playing. And then at 4:00 we would watch The Simpsons
Yes,
in
we
Spanish.
and then a
Yes,
five
we would.
Rebelde.
Yeah.
Was
It was a
never
soap
allowed to
opera.
watch Rebelde, but yes,
No?
4:00. No.
Yeah. So once I started watching in Spanish, I'm like, this actually is good. And then I went back to Toonami and I'm like, oh, that's the show that I was watching. And they were further along, but I hated watching it in Spanish because it would be like in the middle of a saga and all of a sudden first episode again. What the fuck are you
Oh, yeah, 'cause
doing?
they keep going back. Yeah, they started over a lot.
Or they would play the episode from the day before.
Mm.
Like, I watched this one. Did I watch this one?
They did that a lot, like especially when Funimation picked it back up, and they would like they would start it back over to give themselves time to to record more episodes,
Right.
for the voice actors in that, and then you would get like 2 or 3 months worth of new episodes, or I think it was like 4 months or so worth of new episodes, and then they'd start it back over again so that they could go further. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, why?
Right. Right. It was crazy. But
Oh yeah,
good times. Good times. All right.
most
so
definitely.
I don't want to deep dive back into this sad stuff because we
Mm.
full circle back into Dragon Ball.
It's just natural.
Yeah. So do you guys have anything else?
I'm good.
No.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, we have reached the end of the episode. If you want to watch all of our previous episodes, make sure you go on the nerdarchive.com. You can find our merchandise on there too. Things are going really fast, so make sure you grab yours. I'm still working on the new stuff for the new season. Maybe I'll drop some new merchandise for the summer, like swim trunks and things like that. So it'd be pretty cool. That's actually a good idea. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. This was Lola, Justin, Yadi. My name is Louis. This was the Nerd Archive Podcast. See you next week.
Bye.
Click all the things. Bye.
Whoa.
Do it again.